mindset, influences so much of how we experience something. So I describe movement as using your body to engage with life. And I think of whether you call it movement or you call it exercise, it's really about finding an activity that allows you to engage with life the way that you want to.
I knew that I was not going to be stopped. So at the age of 18, this was my life, right? So you can't possibly become better than me because you're not spending the time on it that I do. Even if you want to spend the time on it, you can't because you have other things. You have other responsibilities that are taking you away from it. So I already won.
¿Cuál es nuestra comprensión del acto de enseñar? ¿Y cuál es nuestra comprensión del acto de aprender?
I think that we should view movement as being as essential to human survival as eating and sleeping.
A dance therapist will often put on some music, and the music will have a steady beat because rhythm binds us, and rhythm is a connector.
Don't say, I'll do it like once on the weekend. It's part of how you live your life. And if you can find ways to make it part of your life so that it's not a chore.
Por isso que o educador tem que ser sensível. O educador tem que ser esteta, tem que ter gosto. A educação é uma obra de arte.
If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. Now, that doesn't mean that every wild notion you come up with is going to be genius, but if there is something that you feel is good, something you want to do, something that means something to you, try to do it. Because I think you can only do your best work if you're doing what you want to do, and if you're doing it the way you think it should be done, and if you can take pride in it after you've done it, no matter what it is. If you can look at it and say, I did that, and I think it's pretty damn good. That's a great feeling.
70, 80 years old. And I'm going to be wondering if I could have come back from this injury. I don't want to wonder, I want to find out.
Se tu trabalhas com grupo metido no silêncio, há que encontrar caminho para que ele rompa o silêncio. Se o grupo me quer escuchar, não puedo negar-lhe mi voz. Pero em seguida, eu demonstro que necessito também de sua voz. Minha voz não tem sentido sem a voz do grupo. E lo evito e lo desafio. O ponto de partida da educação está no contexto cultural, ideológico, político, social de los educandos.
And then I think it's also important to reason from first principles rather than by analogy. Because it's kind of mentally easier to reason by analogy rather than from first principles. But by first principles is kind of a physics way of looking at the world. And what that really means is you kind of boil things down to the most fundamental truths and say, okay, what are we sure is true or as sure as possible is true? And then reason up from there.
There are goals there about body awareness, goals about developing awareness of an inner sensation. There are goals that have to do with overcoming isolation. Many of our clients are alienated from society, and when we're connecting them with others, they have more of a social feeling and they can develop more of their life force and their energy.
So, you can either let the situation continue to affect you, or you can win at something. So if you're struggling in this area, you don't want to struggle in this area too. So you want to, try to compartmentalize your emotions and focus on what you're doing at that moment in time. And you'll find that when you do that, it it brings peace to other aspects of your life as well.
The more we move, the more our bodies are stimulated, the more our energy is moving, the more our emotions can flow. The dance therapy session is the choreography of the emotions in the service of the clients. And I'd like to say that the spark of life started with a movement, and dance therapists use those sparks to ignite feelings in those whose lives